Hi, hello, it's Kuutti here. A while ago I asked you guys what kind of videos would you like to see most, and this trying different art styles challenge came up as a winner. So that's what we are gonna do. I'm going to be using my warrior cat Sona seal fool for this challenge because, well, I really wanted to draw more of them, and I think that their design has a lot of elements that my designs often have. So it would be fun to see how they would translate to other styles. Also, for this video, I decided to take on styles that were not of my friends or mutuals. But I mean, if you guys want to see that in the future, I just might. But here we go. We're going to start with SS's Warrior Cats. As a child, I really loved SS's Warrior Cats, and I mean, its place in the Warrior Cats history is nothing small. I mean, it's pretty much the first Warrior Cats media that I ever saw after I read the books, even though I didn't understand any of it because it was in English. Heck, I was even a part of a zine all about the nostalgia about SSS Warrior Cats. In that piece, I kind of tried to mimic the style, but I still took a lot of liberties with my own style. So this time I tried to be a bit more strict. I did try my best to work with the very smooth and thin lines and the shapes, since my online art tends to have this kind of a jaggedy quality and it's a bit more like, what is it, thicker than theirs. But I mean, I totally understand since this is a style made for animation. I added the hair tuft to Seal Fool since I think they deserve it. For their body type, I'm also referencing Small Ear, who has always been one of my favorite designs alongside Lionheart, and Grey Paw, so hell yeah, Seal Fool gets to keep all their chubbiness. I made the colors a bit more saturated and lighter, and made the eyes really green. Also made the markings a bit more animation friendly. I also added some simple shading and boom! It's 2010 Sealful. Next we have the art style of James Barry. Most of you probably know him as the artist who has drawn most of the Warrior Cats mangas and graphic novels, not counting Tiger Star and Shasha, which style I really want to try someday. It was really nice to work with an illustrated style like this, even if I did struggle a bit with the proportions. For references, I most used Barley, Cloudtail, and Nightstar My Beloved because I love his wide head. By the way, Exile from Shadow Clan was very good and made me love Nightstar even more. I think this style would allow Sealful to have all their markings and the seal spots and the little beard pattern that they have. I really enjoyed working with this style. The shading is very close to my own. Also, just the big eyebrows. I just love them on cats so much. I am very sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but now we get to the style of Leonik Nasirov, aka the artist behind the Russian illustrations for Warrior Cats. And let me just say, I love this style of art so much. There is so much color, so much fluidity, so much style and character, and even when the character expressions themselves are not always the most like expressive, there is so much just emotion in their body language. It is this wonderful mix of realism and cartoonish qualities. I love it. At one point, I actually considered trying to do this style traditionally, like with actual colored pencils and ink, but I am nowhere like as confident in my traditional art skills. But again, maybe in the future, mayhaps. Anyway, I really like how the colors turned out. They are so lilac. They're a little violet kitty, and I got to stylize the spots. It was wonderful. Missä salo sinertää ja nurmi on kauniin vihreää ja elämä on leppoisa. Sorry, this style is from Tata, the little panda bear. I used to really love this show when I was a small kid. And yes, I also saw the movie as a kid, and it's not as lighthearted as these TV episodes. But there was always just so much charm in this show, and I absolutely adore their animal and creature designs, like, so much. So of course I wanted to try drawing Seal Fool in that style. I had to make them a bit leaner than in the other styles, since I couldn't find a good ref for a fatter cat character, but hey, you can't win all the time. Since this is also an animated style, I have to simplify their design just a bit, but I think they're still recognizable, maybe? It was actually kind of challenging to try drawing them with like no tufts of hair. Like that's something that I like to draw myself, so styles where they are just very shapy are always fun to try. Anyways, this drawing brings me happiness. I added some nostalgic static overlay on it for extra points because I love it. Next, we have the art of Louis Vine. I'm pretty sure if you have been in internet enough, you have seen one of his illustrations. Especially if you follow me on Twitter, shameless plug, I know, because I have one of his illustrations as my profile picture. It's this clown cat yelling at a sausage. That's the first impression I want to give people about me. But as you probably guessed, I absolutely love this style. I love this art. It is just wonderful. I decided to mostly take reference from his earlier work, even though his more later, more psychedelic work is super interesting and pretty. I decided to draw Seal Fool on two legs and gave them a pretty ribbon because I just think that they deserve that. When it comes to inking, I think this style is most closest to my own, or at least it like felt the most familiar to my hand to draw with. Anyway, you should really check out Louis Vine's art. It's a delight. And last but not least, definitely, is Boone. She's one of my favorite animators on YouTube, and I just really wanted to try drawing Seal Fool in one of her styles. If I ever finally can decide on a character design for myself, I definitely want to revisit Boone's art style for a challenge like this because I want to draw myself as a human in her style. But here is a very Bune style Seal Fool. I kind of wanted to give them a knife, but decided against it. And we are done for now. Here are all six Seal Fools from this time. If I had to pick faves, that probably had to be the Russian warrior cat's illustration or the Tao Tao art style. If you'd like to see more content like this, subscribe, like, and leave a comment on what style should I try next. Also, visit my Redbubble for some merch, or commission me. University is kind of kicking me in the ass, and any and all support is appreciated, especially if you are a Patreon supporter, like Hedrino, Susi, or Ultrasop. Join them at patreon.com/Kuuttituutti. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!